Hey everybody, this is Jim Grisanzio here. I'm really excited to have this conversation here. We are in Bangalore, India, and we're going to have a conversation about the Oracle Code Innovate program. And I'm here today with Shad from Cisco.
Yeah.
And Shyam again from Oracle. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Thanks for joining me here. So this is basically the Oracle Code Innovate program is about 6 months old or so now, and it's a hackfest. Okay, this is where Oracle engineers are getting together with engineers from a customer for a brief period of time, usually 3-4 days, and they're hacking on specific projects that the customer has. But what's really interesting about this is it's engineer to engineer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now these two guys are the tech leads of the event here. I'm Scrum Master, and we're going to have a little conversation about just what is actually happening. So downstairs we've got about 40 or so engineers, 50 engineers, and they're hacking away on projects. So, Shyam, let's start with you.
Yeah.
What is Oracle Code Innovate?
Code Innovate, I would say, is a new transformational way of learning. Very different from a traditional way of how we learn through trainings. This is a 3-day program where we start with a bit of structured learning, where we have, first of all, this is a developer to developer event, right? From a framework point of view, very loose framework, and we work through these 3 days of learning. We start with some structured learnings, and then we do what we call ideation using some of the Scrum principles. And this is where we bring in the business challenges from Cisco, one of our customers, and also the technical possibilities from Oracle standpoint. And when we bring these together, we create teams and use cases. Each of these teams pick a use case which is very close to their business problem that they intend to solve in near future. And then for the rest of 3 days, there are stand-up meetings, there are reviews around use cases and technical challenges. And through this next 2.5 days, we develop this and have these use cases delivered to a panel of judges coming from Cisco.
So these are actually real projects. This is not just, like a training session. These are real projects that you guys need to actually complete on your side.
That's right, Jim. So the reason we are here is our strategy is to move into cloud. Today we use all the Oracle applications on-premise. So this is the great opportunity to working closely with Oracle as part of this Code Innovate. So we have got all our engineers, right, who are hands-on doing the work. Right, we picked our use cases, how we are using Oracle today, and how it's going to be on the cloud. That's where the Oracle is helping us to learn how we can migrate the things to cloud and what the Oracle Cloud is going to bring, the new features and all, right? It's a great opportunity to work together, and it's like 3 days program, and we are doing hands-on work and learning every day.
Good, excellent. So describe to me a little bit about the challenges. Cisco is a gigantic company, and so is Oracle. So I would imagine that moving your operations or whatever that you have to move to the cloud is non-trivial. Right. So what are some of the challenges? What are some of the technologies that you have to deal with in order to migrate certain operations into the cloud?
Sure. So Cisco is not just Oracle. We have like even other things we use, like a lot of integrations to Oracle applications, and we do have some extensions, and we have loaded with the data, right? So if we move to cloud, we have to see how we can take care of all these things. There are multiple integrations, right? So that is what we have picked some use cases specific to all these 3 areas. We are exploring how we can do when we move to the cloud.
Absolutely. We've seen a bit of learning already, right? Cloud, of course, is awesome, right? We have no complaints about that. But we also look at how traditionally the software has grown with our customers. And I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Shad, there are a lot of integrations now going out of Oracle,
Right.
and a lot of data coming into Oracle. When we move whole of this onto cloud, how does these integrations work? That's something we're trying to explore there.
Right? It could be in the cloud to cloud, or cloud to on-prem, or on-prem to cloud. Like we are exploring all these different areas.
Interesting. Okay, so earlier this morning we did stand-ups.
Yeah.
So actually it was we three walked around to each one of the teams and they did their stand-up, and then they basically had just a little briefing on where they were on their projects. Can you give us a little feedback of what those conversations were about? Not the specifics of the projects, but in terms of what was the dynamic? Because from an observer point of view, they made a lot of progress in a very short amount of time, first. And second, I noticed, I was hearing your comments actually from you saying some of these projects are pretty ambitious, right? Yeah. And I'm saying, we only have like another day and a half here to complete. So what was that process like? What were some of those conversations like from the team?
So we are in the day 2, right? The way they've structured, the Oracle structured this program is awesome. Like the day 1, the first half, they gave us the overview of all the things like what we are going to do. And they asked us to pick the specific use cases. Like it's relevant to us. That really makes sense, right? So they can connect with what they are doing in the day-to-day thing in Cisco. We pick those use cases, and they are using all the things like all cloud technologies and those things, right? The folks who are here, they're all excited. And
I've noticed the energy in the room is picking up, and in fact friendships are forming here, and it's just like that.
In fact, we were supposed to close by 4 o'clock yesterday. They still stayed till the late evening. They continued, and the morning they turned up, and even today they want to stay late and complete the work. They're all engaged.
And actually, this is actually an important issue for those of you who aren't familiar with Bangalore. The traffic here is very serious. So sometimes people will have to travel a couple of hours in order to get home. Right. So, and that's also what happens in these events, because we've done a few of these events now. Yeah. And people end up staying late, even though there's a 2-hour trek home.
Right. It's not just Cisco. Even the folks from Oracle also sitting, in each of these groups, they're helping us all the time. That's a great thing. Like they are working closely. Working together. Yeah.
Absolutely. The enthusiasm the developers are showing is infectious, I would say. Right? Yeah. There's one group sitting, they're hacking together. We can see how the mindset is changing towards cloud. Yeah. They're really understanding what's not possible, what's possible. And it was interesting to see in yesterday's presentation, one of his presentations, which was never salesy. It is a very clear developer to developer. Yes. This guy was like open, telling, what's possible, what's not possible. This is cloud. That's fantabulous. That establishes the developer to developer trust, which is exactly what the design of the program is.
And one of the things that we're hopeful in Oracle is that these relationships continue.
Yes.
That they keep on having conversations on Slack or LinkedIn or just actually in Oracle, the Cisco facility is right around the corner, right? So you can go have coffee.
So I would say it's learning for both sides. Yeah. It's not just Cisco, even the Oracle can learn how we use Oracle and Cisco, right? Yeah. It's like, I would say both
Absolutely. Sides. Yesterday we had Johnson here, and he was highlighting some of those problems. So it's about these business processes and getting them working when you need it, and the ability to scale them as the demand increases, right, for them internally. And I see 2 things really happening on the floor. One is a lot of business innovation happening in terms of Cisco rediscovering how we could do things, and Oracle trying to understand that. On the other side, Cisco also trying to understand how we could bring technology for innovation, right? We've seen blockchain use cases. We're trying to see if we can use low-code VBCS. We are looking at chatbot and digital assistant use cases. And so there's a huge step forward for both of us, I would believe.
Now, this is actually the second event we're doing with Cisco. We did one in San Jose in March.
Right.
I was there for that one, and it was very successful. I was really impressed with it. The facilities there were beautiful, and actually the facilities here are beautiful too because they're brand new. These facilities here at Oracle.
Yeah, it's working out for us. We are just coming out of our workplace, right? We can focus on. If this would have happened in Cisco premise,
distraction would be higher.
So thanks to you guys, like hosting us here, right? Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We have the rest of the day today, and then we have all day on tomorrow. What's going to happen for the rest of the day today and then tomorrow?
So
in terms of the process.
Okay. So we're gonna have a stand up. We've been doing it together. Post lunch, just to check where the use cases are. I saw at least 3 groups very confident in terms of completing, achieving more ground in terms of fulfilling the use cases. We're going to have a stand up again later in the evening to see what we've done for the day, what we would like to achieve for tomorrow, right? Very brief, so that we all are on the same page, and then we break for the day. Hopefully, if the enthusiasm is still not as high as it was yesterday, then we're going to probably work much longer through the day.
I'm sure it will continue. So,
Cool. And then tomorrow we have wrap-ups with final prezos, judging.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's an important point, right? The whole concept revolves around this being a competition, which really motivates these teams, which were just formed yesterday, to compete and bring in as much as innovation possible, because they know it's an innovation program, and do a lot of this coding to get there.
Right.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming by. I appreciate it. I know you're very busy. I pulled you away from the actual project. So again, this is Jim Grisanzio here from the Oracle Groundbreakers team in Bangalore, India. And I'm going to have more of these interviews as I get more involved with this program. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.